Hello, it's Dollar Bill. I've noticed we do have some more foreclosures up there in Massachusetts. Just as a side note, it looks like Connecticut, sort of the same. Little drop in real estate, not much. We made our fun video with the bank earlier. I'm going to talk about something a little more serious. If you look back on my videos, I've noticed myself. Uh, I made a video that was very anti Wall Street. Uh, and then I came back and uh, I talked about being down 20% on the market. Now, in my life, in my world, there are no coincidences. But I find it interesting because it's a video. This is a video I was thinking of making for a long time, and it has to do with equity. Um, these companies that control the internet, specifically me, my phone, YouTube, I believe is owned by Google. Um, I have a Google phone. Most of the trading that I do, the stock tips that I do get, they are fed to me. In other words, a lot of the information I get is off my news feed, specific stocks that I will buy. Um, so, um, is there a correlation? Well, if equity is now the nation's policy, let's define equity. Equity is that there's a predetermination that someone will succeed. So if there is a predetermination that someone will succeed, then somebody else has to succeed less. If you understand our system, it's just what it is. So I started to realize that equity would be implemented in these companies through the internet. I mean, how much of our dollars are wrapped into our actions on our phone? When we buy something, we look on our phone, see how much it is, where it is. So they could send us stuff that we pay more. They could send us bad stock tips, bad financial advice instead of good. Now, what is good and what is bad? I mean, all the data that Google collects on the markets, they could predict the market better than me. They could send me something that I like, that makes me money, or they could send me something that I like and is going to lose me money. I found it too fascinating that how I railed Wall Street and I lost like, uh, well, I can't say I've ever been that, I haven't been that far down, but that's about as far down as I've ever been trading. So anyway, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to expose the things I know about Wall Street. Um, the SEC is the governing agency over the markets. Uh, an SEC agent, I don't know what they make, 100, 200 grand, and they're enlisted in to regulate the markets and everybody who's involved in them, which would include the hedge funds. The hedge funds, well, those guys, they make anywhere from $500,000 to several $1 billion a year. The individuals will make. So where does the SEC want to work? Where does the guy who works for the SEC want to work? He wants to work for the hedge fund. Um, Also, I think you know the markets are global. I think there's always an economic war going on. And I think the government has enlisted to some degree the hedge funds in targeting the stocks of nations that aren't cooperating with what America wants. I say that because the hedge funds and Wall Street blatantly violate laws. I've sat there and watched them ladder trade on squeezes. They have computers that'll buy and sell. And I don't think I've explained the squeezes yet, because if you notice, these squeezes, they don't really go crazy like they did, and they don't rocket and continue for very long. In fact, I'll tell you, these new fake squeezes, they don't last more than a couple days. Now, a stock that I watch that they're doing it on is Mullen. And it's kind of like a rinse and repeat. I think last time Mullen dropped down to 40 cents, and it stayed right at 40 cents. Right around 40 cents. And during that time, the computers that the hedge funds use to trade the stock will gobble up all the stock at 40 cents. And some traders will buy in at 40 cents. And then all of a sudden, the hedge funds, they'll put in a big purchase. They'll stick a big green candle up there, which is what the traders and everybody else uses to say, oh, it's going up. It's squeezing. And then they all jump in and they buy. And the price goes like this. And as it's going like that, all the stock that the hedge fund's computer had accumulated here at the bottom, they're selling it off. So they bought it 40 cents, and then they start selling it 50 cents. Then they sell more at 60, 70, 80. And then when they decide the squeeze is over, boom, they put a big red candle up. Take a nice big short position right at the top here at 80 cents. And we all panic. Oh, here it goes. It's going down. Sell it. And it comes down like this. That they'll also, because they bought it all at 40 cents, they'll sell it on the way down. So they'll help push it down too. And then when they get back down to wherever they're going to take it, I don't know where they're going to take Mullen this time. I think last time I looked it was like 60 cents. But then they hold that big short position up at the top here at 80 cents. And they're down at 40 cents. So they made the profit on the way up. Now they got the profit on the big short position. And they made the profit selling off on the way down. See? They're going up, selling it. They're going down, selling it. And then they can't hold that big short position up at the top. Then they're back down to 40 cents. Gobbling up, gobbling up, gobbling up. And then what do? Big green candle. Boom. Bring it right back up. Big red candle. Boom. Bring it right back down. And on the way up, they're selling it off. And on the way down, they're selling it off. Then they're back down at the bottom. They got that nice big short position. Nice profit from the top. All the profits they took going up. And all the profits they took going down. And they're gobbling up, gobbling up, gobbling up. So, like, how do you play a short now? Well, you wait for the stock to stabilize. And you gobble up what you can stomach. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And you wait for them to put that big green candle up. Now, what I would suggest you do, because you may not be on the phone, even if you're always watching the market, you may miss it. You know, put a sell, if you bought it all at 40, put a sell order in at 65. So when you hit 65, if you're not watching it, well, okay. Nah. If you are watching it, you know, you got to sit there and watch it. If you see it going up, you gotta you want to go to sleep, take a nap. Listen, I took a nap 2 months ago. It cost me $1,000. Can't do it. If you do, you got to put that sell order in somewhere, so you make sure you sell yours off. So yeah, that's all the squeezes are now. They call it rinse and repeat. They buy it up, big green candle. You all jump in, they sell it off, sell it off. Big red candle, boom, it's going down. They sell it off, sell it off, sell it off. So they get you on both ends, and then they got that nice short position up there that now it's at 40 cents. They were short. They doubled their money on that too. So that's the market. Now maybe I'll get good stuff on my feeds to buy, and I'll be up 20%. They'll just see, well, he's just going to keep doing this. But yeah, that's what it is. Don't think it's any different. Like I do. Listen, the squeezes are just a pile on of retail, and then you're just taking money from retail. A squeeze ain't gonna bankrupt anybody on Wall Street. If they get caught, they'll do what they did with GameStop. GameStop they did lose, but eventually they made an agreement with their brokerage firm not to call their shorts. Now it's not against the law for the brokerage firm not to call their shorts. Now, is the brokerage firm going to call my shorts and your shorts? Yeah, they are. But they won't call theirs. They run all their trades through them. They live off these hedge funds. They depend on these hedge funds. So they're not going to call their shorts. And the hedge fund will pay them whatever so they don't call their shorts, and they'll hold them until you tap out. Eventually, you tap out. They don't care. They're not going to get caught in any squeeze. They only win with the squeeze. And also, if you watch meme stocks, a meme stock is some stock that retail's like, oh, you got to go buy this. And it starts to rocket up, they'll move right in. They'll short that stock. Bring it right back down. It's almost like a war against Wall Street and retail. It's kind of like they have so many advantages. Like even our trades, all these free apps, they're free because they get all the data. They know what we're going to buy, when we're going to buy it, where we're going to sell it, what we're doing, what we're looking at, everything. It's all fed into their AI computer. And they go have lunch. But yeah, so that's the game. What I try to do is I try to ride the backs of Wall Street. So I see it's rinse and repeat. Okay, well, that's what it is. Play the game. Now, if retail ever really wants to go after Wall Street stocks, see, Wall Street has their own stocks. I'll give you one. DNA is their stock. What else is their stock? I'm trying to think. Stock that's primarily owned by Wall Street. You got DNA, BBIO, 80+% owned by institutions. Penn is primarily institutionally owned, 80+%. I try to buy their stocks, and I try to trade them, because they don't want me trading their stocks. They don't want any. I mean, I'm not playing with enough money to mess with the consistency in price. But if retail ever really wants to turn the tables on Wall Street, they'll go into their stocks and short the hell out of them. But that doesn't work either, because the brokerage firm is going to call their shorts. So that's why they're playing long on the show, but that doesn't work because the brokerage firm doesn't call their shorts. And the SEC allows this all to just continue. Why? Because, well, when it comes to foreign adversaries, they enlist Wall Street's money to mess with their stocks, and they'll turn the other way. They're their partner in we'll call it national security. So I don't know. That's all I got on Wall Street. It's their street. It's not ours, and try to take what you can from them. Generally, the stock market, the purpose of it is so. I mean, people say, well, when you get into a dividend stock of a well-financed company, it becomes a little different. They're doing the work. They're not really using your money. They're you're using their labor. Uh, but generally, the purpose of the stock market is for U.S. corporations to be able to use your money as their piggy bank. Mullen is like beyond ridiculous. The way that CEO uses Mullen shareholders as his piggy bank. He didn't even use it as company's piggy bank. It's like his own personal piggy bank. Guy's kind of disgusting. I don't recommend the stock unless you want to play this rinse and repeat game with Wall Street and gobble some up where the price stabilizes and wait for them to put that big green candle up and rinse and repeat with them. Sell it as it goes up and sell it as it goes down. Take a short position when you see that big short position at the top too. I don't do that. I'm not sophisticated enough to do that. But if you are, go ahead and try it. Yeah. So I don't believe the bank with the dollar. I mean, this is if you just know that our economy here is a consumer economy, how essential the and most of what we buy is imported, so you know how essential the dollar is to our economy, as it's the world's standard currency. It's our greatest export. We just put ink on a piece of paper like this, and they send us a Mercedes. Perfect. I love it. It's not going to continue like that. And when they tell you it doesn't matter, listen, go back and watch the last episode that Tucker Carlson was on TV. Literally, the last words he said before he was fired was, "We are in deep crap if the dollar is undermined as the world standard currency." Deep doo-doo. And all the rest of the news stations and even the people on Fox said, it's nothing. It won't affect us for a decade, if it does ever. But it will, and it is, and it does. And he got fired because he said it. You don't believe me? Go back and watch the video. And yet Donald Trump is going to get a conviction on every single case, in every single jurisdiction, all four. From what I understand, there might be a fifth in Arizona. And states are, I say that because if the government has taken all this far, they're gonna get a conviction by any means deemed necessary. Now, what's the downside for America? Well, the whole country is gonna watch this. They're going to see all the dirt that they do, or at least half of it, because only half the media will report the dirt, how dirty it is. And the other half will be, they won't show you. So I suggest you watch all the stations. I do. But also the world will be watching this at a time when you've lost your credibility. You've straight up lost your credibility. And that does have something to do with your dollar as the world's standard currency, your reputation in the world. And this is really just going to hurt your reputation further. And I see states, I think the first one I saw is New Hampshire. They're trying to remove Trump from the ballot based on the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, saying that he was involved in insurrection. He hasn't even been convicted, but they're going to say he was involved and get him off the ballot. And I think actually Trumpers in the end, they'll say, oh, well, the system says so, we'll vote for somebody else. They're still wrapped up in the system. So I think there'll be more conformity within Trumpers to pick another candidate when Trump is completely canceled from this election, which he will be. He will not even be on the ballot come election day. Why he even chose to run, like, if it was rigged, then it is rigged, don't vote. Like, he's a reflection of all Trump supporters. They say they're getting screwed by the system, and they keep cooperating with that system. Well, good luck. You're trying to beat yourself. Ain't gonna work. But anyway, like always, I suggest all my viewers to get some microwave popcorn, keep it in the shelf, and keep your Wi-Fi active. So you can stay home, watch it, eat popcorn. If you think you want to go out and do something, somebody else will do it. Why do what somebody else will do for you? Excuse me. Kind of interesting, the equity law that Biden passed. Because, well, technically I'm still disabled. Actually, next week I have to go see a doctor. The government is, after 30 years of saying I'm disabled, now they're reevaluating me. They're gonna, I guess that they're gonna change their mind that I'm not disabled. And, well, at 52, 30 years, we took you out of the workforce, out of the system. Good luck. Believe me, I've looked at it very closely, and what they would want out of me, given prior history and all the facts, would say, listen, this guy's just gonna wind up in jail. He's been going in and out of jail, and this is just gonna be accelerated. You are kind of targeted if you're disabled and you have issues with the law. You'll be targeted for redetermination, and the likelihood of you being found able because you've been convicted of a crime is increased. So I'm gonna go talk to this doctor. He's probably gonna say you're abled. I'm gonna see what the system would want. The system will make good use out of all of us. And it's not a system or a country I'm going to want to continue to be part of. It's not what I want for me. So I'll leave. I mean, I don't know if I'm able to just say it doesn't matter. I don't decide that. They do. It's the government system. If you got a problem with people who are disabled and you think they're not disabled, well, talk to your government, because the only reason anybody's disabled is they have this process, and through that process, they have been designated disabled. So talk to them. If you think someone isn't disabled. In fact, if you think I'm not disabled, call them and tell them, listen, I know this guy, I watch his videos, he ain't disabled. When they do that, I'm just going to pack my bags and I'm going to go back to, I don't know if I'll go back, well, I hope I go back to Ireland, but I probably will. But I could go anywhere in the EU. Probably some places in Central South America I go to. But yeah, it'll be almost immediate. Like, bye. Anyway, it'll be a little bit because I'm cheap. Uh, I want a cheap plane ticket, so probably have to wait for a cheap plane ticket to book a cheap flight. But I presume someday, well, that's where I'll be, and that's where I'll be talking to you. But anyway, thanks for watching. Um and don't make your investment, don't be the piggy bank for Wall Street. Try to make the corporations your piggy bank. Keep trading against all odds. They tell you it's no good. They tell you it's no good because it doesn't serve their purpose for the market. It doesn't leave money sitting there so that when they want to issue stock and dilute your investment, it won't be there. You'll be constantly diluting the investment if you're on the plus side of the trade. That's the key. But yeah, that's why they tell you that. It's not what its intended use, and its intended use isn't about you. It's about the corporations. If you don't know the corporations and the government are in bed together, well, and yeah, the dollar ain't shit, and the world's gonna turn it into spit. So they're gonna make sure if you're broke and busted, well, you're gonna have plenty of company, plenty of friends. Bye bye. Dollar bill, yo.